I need somebody to explain to me the point of mission trips because they literally don't make sense to me.
Hey there, and thanks for asking such an important question. It's great to see someone genuinely curious about the purpose of missionary trips and the role of missionaries in spreading the gospel versus not just supporting us at all. I totally get the thought that sending money seems like a more straightforward way to help, and there's definitely value in that, of course. But let me share a bit about why many believe that going on the ground can be just as crucial, why I believe that going on the ground is just as crucial, if not more so. Let's look at the Great Commission first. Of course, Matthew 28:19-20, it tells us that Jesus commands us, go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. This is a direct call to action. The emphasis on this is not just sending resources, but being present, building relationships, and sharing the love of Christ through our lives. Missionary trips also allow us to live out this command in tangible ways. When missionaries go to different communities, we're not just bringing resources, we're also bringing hope, encouragement, and the message of Jesus in a personal way. Being there in person allows for a deeper connection and an understanding of the local culture, which can be instrumental in how the gospel is received. Paul also teaches us in Romans 10, verses 14-15, how then will they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how are they to believe in him of whom they have never heard? And how are they to hear without someone preaching? Incredibly powerful about face-to-face interactions that money alone cannot replicate. Additionally, missionary trips often involve hands-on work that demonstrates God's love in actions, as you've stated. Whether it's helping to build a school, providing medical care, or simply offering support to local churches, these acts of service can have a lasting impact. We see that in James 2:17. Tell us, so also faith by itself, if it does not have works, it's dead. Our actions serve as a powerful testimony to the faith we profess. It's also worth noting that many communities are not just in need of financial support, but also of relationships and mentorships. Discipleship 101. When missionaries engage with local leaders and community members, they can empower them to lead their own initiatives. This fosters sustainability and growth in a way that a financial transaction alone might not achieve. Lastly, for those of us called to go, missionary trips are often a life-changing experience. I know you heard it. It changed me more than it changed them. But it deepens our faith, it broadens our perspective, and it ignites a passion of serving within us and others. We get to witness firsthand how God is working around the world and often return home transformed ourselves. In 1 Peter 4:10, we're reminded, as each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good steward of God's varied grace. It's a beautiful cycle of giving and receiving. So in short, while sending money is undoubtedly helpful and necessary in many situations, missionary trips are about building relationships, sharing the gospel personally, and living out our faith in community. It's about being Christ's hands and his feet in a world that desperately needs the love and hope of Christ. But outside of that, thank you for letting me share this perspective. I hope it helps your understanding and for you to see the value of both financial support and the incredible work being done by missionaries around the globe. Each has a place in God's plan. And that was the reason that my husband and I have faithfully went on and stepped out on faith in creating our nonprofit, Royal Harvest Ministries Incorporated. This nonprofit has started its foundation, what we call Royal Harvest Headquarters. It is a 9-bedroom, 9-bathroom missions house that prayerfully will house and equip numerous missionaries in the future to come and not have to worry about that financial burden, but focus on the mission that is at hand. Hopefully, we will be there this coming November. In the area where our headquarters is, we are starting to build those relationships and build that foundation to seek where help is needed and to aid in the community of the Dodowa Accra area in Ghana, West Africa. We plan to venture out in parts that are unreached. There are so many places in Ghana, West Africa where the gospel has not yet touched, where there are languages that are spoken that are still unknown. and where there is so much love and discipleship, so much is needed that we get here freely and still take for granted. For me and my house, God has called us to this missions journey. He has called us to this missionary life, and prayerfully, with the support of those who do find good value in the work of missionaries, for those of you who have been called to give, or God has pricked your heart in a way that he wants you to support, I hope that you are able to go ahead on over, check us out, check our website out, www.royalharvestministries.com. Find out any additional information you need to know either there or inbox me as well. I'll be greatly appreciate the questions, and I love a good dialogue, as you can see. But other than that, yeah, there are some that have been called. I do recommend it at least one time in the life of a Christian so that they can see life outside of the spoiled lands of the USA, or go to your nearest local shelter, your communities that are even right in your area, and share the gospel there. You don't have to necessarily go on a foreign mission trip when you have foreign opportunities right in your communities. So yeah, I went on too much, but yeah, hope that helped.